Hey everybody, CVH here, and today I'll be playing some games on the ladder with Token Spellsword, the ever-popular deck in willpower and endurance that spits a lot of guys onto the board, buffs them up, swarms the board, and wins the game that way. Pretty aggressive deck, very fun deck, hasn't seen a ton of play in recent months, but did get some really interesting new tools from Heroes of Skyrim. And this build is more or less ZYZZ VA Project's build. He shipped me the list. I added a couple things, but some of the new cards it uses are Cleric of Kine as a 3 of with that Prophecy. The buff effect means at worst it's a 2-3. At best you can buff some of your other guys to help them trade or stay out of range of removal like Ice Storm. Priest of the Eight, a pretty fantastic draw option for the deck, in addition to the Eastmarch Crusaders, and another card we'll be talking about. Call of Valor, now this is one he said he was thinking about switching out for another 3-drop, maybe Morthal Executioner. You'll notice we're not playing Young Mammoth because we're really trying to stay as yellow as possible for the Resolute allies. We also have Spellsword Summoning. Has lived up to the expectations I set for it. A random one-cost creature in each lane, a bit RNG dependent, but you have so many ways to buff multiple creatures, and there are a lot of one-drops that are better than you would expect for just paying one for them. Since you're getting two with this one action, it's been pretty powerful in this deck so far. You'll notice that we're even playing Edict of Azura over Piercing Javelin in this version. He was playing two of each, but I decided to consolidate to the Edict because there have been some more support decks recently, but more so because we are primarily aggressive and we just care about killing things for the cheapest cost possible. Then we have two reinforcements, the new Legate. When you summon an Imperial, summon a 1/1 Imperial Grunt in the other lane. Still need to test this card some more, but again, another token-centric card. The three Divine Fervors obviously being central to the deck strategy, along with the 5th Legion Trainers. Two Hoffinger Marauder. Again, not entirely sure about this card in the list, but since we are being primarily aggressive and we often do maintain our board pretty easily, very powerful card to get those items on our guys and make our board even more threatening. Two copies of Golden Saint and the new draw card, Bandit Ringleader as a 2 of, which I put in. It wasn't in the build I was shipped, but giving other friendly creatures in the lane Pilfer, draw a card. This can basically function as a triumphant Jarl for the deck without any conditions except for having other things in the lane that can attack, and that's pretty easy to do in this deck. So on turn 6, if we need more things in our hand to keep up the board pressure, Bandit Ringleader is the card that can really get us there. So, really fun deck. Definitely recommend you trying it out if you've been a fan of token decks in the past. Let's play a couple games on the ladder and see how it goes. Gonna keep the 2-drop, and we mulligan into 1-drop and a 5th Legion Trainer. Seems good, so let's play the Marked Man. And it's typically correct to hold the makeshift defenses as we're doing now to try to get a buff from something like the 5th Legion Trainer. So a really powerful opening so far. And he does nothing. Like that. We can smack for 1. 5th Legion can get a 1-2. It's like a Septum Guardsman, guys. It's perfect.
Let's shed some light on the problem.
Firebolt is somewhat annoying, which means he can take care of this pretty easily, so I may in fact go for a Cleric play. Cunning Ally is really powerful here. I could just play a Call of Valor. That means he can Firebolt this, attack over this. It means I have to take care of that next turn, so I'm going to hope to draw a 2-drop to combo this with. Is that the best possible play? Like, I could trade all into it and use the Cleric to keep this alive, but that's pretty weak, because then again he can just Firebolt it and my board's pretty weak.
You can't defeat
I'll
me.
take them with me! Hun! Lead me into battle.
Would be interesting if he attacks the 4-3 instead. Hey, that's how I figured it would go. Be nice if he didn't have another play with this.
A perfect opportunity.
Okay. Interesting. And a few options here. We didn't draw anything to combo the Cleric with, so as good as it would be, it would keep our 4-3 alive at a 4-2. And we'd be able to play the 2-1 in the right. We can test the 3-2. We could also just play the Legate in the right and set up for a pretty sick Imperial Reinforcements. If he does deal with this with a Lightning Bolt, if he does that, he can't really do anything else with his turn. But with the Legate, it could be just absurd. I'm gonna go for this.
A warrior knows to trust her gut.
This is definitely the slower, more value-oriented type of play. I would like to kill that Thieves Guild defense as soon as possible, but this deck is definitely light on removal.
You have seen your last move.
Not too unexpected there. Not using all the ring charges so early. 2-drop that he just drew. Alright, so there's our 3-drop. We can combo with the Cleric if we want. Could do that, and then Cleric in the right and try to kill that next turn. Yeah. It's probably just going to be the plan. He does get to search a curse. This is kind of getting out of hand. We need to find a way to stop this incoming damage. We could just get a guard on the left or a Shadow Mirror or something, so we're going to try. Here's some good old RNG.
We will seize our own fate.
Blood Sorceress and Fiery Imp. Definitely not fantastic. He's probably going to be forced to curse this one, though. I'm going to play the Cleric in the right, and I'm going to go ahead and buff itself up.
Bless us, kind. May we
And I'm still too scared to give him an extra card here. Every card he draws is going to be reduced by 1 until I can clear this, which will hopefully be next turn, but we only got a 1/1. So, very fragile board in the right lane.
You have seen your last move.
Well, Hoffinger is an option. That's the high roll play. Or at least we assume he got a curse off that. It could be anything. Who knows what this is?
Nice try. Care to go again? Looking to make a purchase?
Fair enough. Okay, so we can kill that. We can kill that. It takes our entire board to do so. An interesting situation. I think this works the way I want it to. When a friendly creature destroys enemy rune, equip it with a random item. So we could attack into that after we played the Hoffinger. The effect of this card is going to be breaking the rune, and then it could potentially get buffed out of range of this killing it before it attacks the ward, I mean. That could be quite interesting. I think this is kind of okay, but I will be doing this trade first, so we can't answer with prophecy.
Your story has finished.
Who knows how this is going to go.
We fight for all Skyrim. For the warrior white.
That was almost really cool.
Nicely done.
That was almost really cool. We had to go for it, right? Anything with 3 health is really good. Yeah. It was worth it, I think. 5-3 versus these on the board, and he has to answer this or it'll get its own effect next turn.
Gotcha.
Interesting play.
Hands off my wares.
Another Schemer for 4.
Nice try. Care to go
He is
again?
pressuring. If he doesn't have a Shackle here, like a Shrieking Harpy, should be in a pretty good spot. Really hope he doesn't have a Shrieking Harpy. Okay.
Let's shed some light on the problem.
He could just clear here, but I think that's a bit too defensive, so I'm just going to try get something good off the effect,
For Skyrim.
and then adapt, depending on what we get. Ackwing Feather, okay, that makes it quite annoying to get rid of. Pitline is a potential play this turn. We go Reinforcements in the left, Pitline in the right. Make our board kind of wide. These are obviously really weak to the Firebolt we know he has right now. We could play Pitline in the left too if we really wanted. No, actually, no, we couldn't. We could, I mean, but it's probably not good. This gets Firebolted, but now this gets Firebolted to be a double trade-in. We could just die. He's 11 on board. I don't think we're dead this turn to anything. But next turn, it's definitely possible to die. But he has to worry about cards like Divine Fervor too, so I don't think he can leave this whole board intact. Hopefully killing the Hoffinger is really inefficient for him.
I have you now.
Gotcha! Hands off my wares!
That's a good giant snake. I didn't expect him to be playing that, I'll tell ya. Well, I think we're probably gonna lose now. That was a very good snake. Because with the fervor, we could have at least cleared. Or at least cleared almost everything. So now we have to go for some draw, because without drawing something to eat up some of that damage, we are literally dead. So let's use our cheap draw option first.
The ape protect us!
Alright, we might just have to Golden Saint Raw on the left. Really unfortunate, really dislike the play, but we're staring down 9 and we're at 9 and we have no defensive prophecies here. Could have made the case to go face with that, but then we give him another card and we are only 1 damage off of dying, some more things kill us. At least here we're like 6 off if he has to trade into it naturally, and I think that could allow us to come back. Depending on how bad the rest of his hand is, obviously.
Nice try. Care to go again?
A perfect opportunity.
Gotcha!
I have you.
Well, the problem isn't that he doesn't have enough things we can clear, it's that we can't actually attack things in the Shadow Lane. We have the damage, we just can't use it.
Honor and praise!
We are 1 Magicka off of lethal, guys. And 4 damage off of lethal, however you want to look at it. Either way, it's disappointing. Again, I don't think there's a way we can really survive here, but I do have to go for the card draw, because if I don't, I'm dead.
We'll hold, no matter what.
Still dead, so...
No matter what. We'll hold, no matter what.
Oh, Edict, we needed you.
I hear and obey.
Alright, well,
Into the breach!
let's make him sweat. What are the odds he doesn't go for lethal here?
Gotcha!
It has been an invasion.
Would that have done it? No, it wouldn't have done it. Would it have done it? No, we were 4 off and we only had 3 things in left, so that would have been, again, 1 damage off of lethal. Interesting game. Got surprisingly close. Also a very interesting deck from our opponent there. GG. Alright, let's try again and try to actually get a Token Spellsword-y win. We got the deck tracker online for this one. Keep the 2 with the ring, keep nothing else. Again, I don't know what's up with these bugs. I think I mentioned them in a previous video. I think it's due to the deck tracker, but I'm not entirely sure how, because it has been confirmed that this does not break the terms of service, so we'll just see what happens. Could be Aggro Battlemage. I think I've seen more Aggro Battlemages than Merrick's recently. It's good to get on the board early. We have a lot of things we could play next turn from the top of our deck. We're just gonna hope we get another 2 or 3 or 1 or something to continue developing the board. But I don't want to miss turn 1.
We'll see how they like someone who fights back.
Looks like Aggro Prophecy Battlemage. Looks like a play. Seems good.
For the warrior right!
Training is over. It's time to act.
It's unlikely he can really efficiently clear this 1-3 this turn, so it looks like we have a sick Imperial Reinforcements in the right lane.
As long as I draw breath.
Now I'll be getting him down just to 26.
For the
Not gonna give him another card and or free creature this turn.
Your orders, your orders, your orders, your orders.
I don't think Prophecy Aggro Battlemage runs Skaven Pyromancer. I wonder what's up with the Orc Clan Captain, though. I have seen versions with less prophecies and more just damage, which I think works in our favor. Because we don't want to hit a bunch of prophecies, we have to attack kind of early with this deck.
Come at me.
Found the one
I'm ready
drops.
for anything.
Oh yeah, he's going full charge.
Glory.
Absolutely full charge. We will be taking these two traits. That's just happening. I do like the Hoffinger play. I think we can get some serious counter pressure going on. Let's buff up one of these guys because he has things in this lane.
Acknowledged.
You can't defeat
For
me.
the warrior waits.
Wow, that item has a really loud effect. Or a summoning effect. Alright, well either way, this is still a good amount of pressure, even if we definitely low rolled there and got like a pretty average one on the cleric. We have Edict Marksman, which I like to do now that we have this on the board. I didn't like sacrificing that really potentially pressuring turn to play defensively, when it's only 2 damage he keeps on board. Like, yeah, he could buff it, but next turn we have a Guard and an Edict to play.
The forest will not suffer your presence.
Interesting. Allowing me to keep my Hoffinger's effect. Also, that was definitely probably supposed to go here, right? I feel like killing that 4/6 would have been pretty solid because it removes its own buff too. Maybe he forgot that it buffed itself. Anyway.
For Skyrim.
Then I'll start with this attack. See what happens.
You can't defeat me.
I hear and obey.
For the warrior waits.
Well, we're almost 100% to win the game next turn, so I'm just gonna remove the possibility of him ever like finding a random lethal here. This is probably playing it overly safe, but I think it's fine to do so because he's only at 6 and we have this much damage on board. Whatever this much is, it's way more than 6, right?
My fight is done.
Solid. Keep the 1-drop, ship the rest. Pretty average mulligan, especially if we don't have the Ring of Magicka, which would make this hand really crazy because we have Pit Lion on 2 if we have the ring.
May you walk on warm sands.
Did you hear that?
Either way, we should keep the makeshift defenses for some buff, or to activate the Pit Lion if we only have one other thing out on turn 3.
Looking to make a purchase?
Shimmerine, Peddler, and Sorcerer. No turn 2 play except for makeshift defenses. Quite bad news.
I'll take them with me.
Don't really see a reason to play it.
Hands off my wares.
Control Sorcerer it is. Let's see what happens.
Lead me into battle.
My hand is pretty decent. Just didn't have a turn 2 play. Which is a big deal, don't get me wrong.
The waters of life.
Hands off my wares.
This gives me a threat for next turn. Sometimes.
I hate this crown. It's damn uncomfortable.
Hands off my wares.
Let's go and face a lot for what I'm pretty sure is a slower deck than mine. Alright, so what do we want to do here? We could go Spellsword Ally, but I don't think that's too powerful. I don't like sacrificing my Pit Lion to the 5/5, but I don't really have any other options unless I go for the Hoffinger play. I think that might be the plan then, just play Hoffinger in the right, hopefully this stays out of range of his attack. Hopefully he doesn't have removal for this too.
We fight for all Skyrim.
Mace. The odds of a prophecy were way higher than a mace. Land.
I have many important things on my mind.
He's not letting Hoffinger live. Not at all. Go for Marked Man, or 5th Legion Trainer into Marked Man. Into Resolute Ally on the right. Now you play the makeshift defenses in the left to try to keep our Pit Lion happy and alive. Or you could just play Marked Man in the right, after 5th Legion Trainer, 5th Legion Makeshift Defenses, and Resolute Ally on the left, but then he can start killing other things too.
Training is over. It's time to act.
Did you hear that? Steadfast, brothers.
I missed damage there with my makeshift defenses. Feels bad, man. Rookie mistakes. I was busy thinking about my play. Yeah, ignore that. Hopefully we're not one off a lethal this turn. Or this game. Don't think we have any shot at lethal next turn. But I mean, hell, if he has absolutely nothing, we could've. 2-1 goes into the 1-2, or the 5-5 goes into it. Either way, he's like a little bit off of killing my Pit Lion on board. Okay. Kill my Lion. Kill my defenses. We should have gotten the damage in. Only puts him at 16. If he was already at 16, I might have just said not to do it against some decks. Sorcerer doesn't have too many prophecies. Fire Breath, man. Honestly, not too far behind, though. Whoa. That's potentially very powerful. If he doesn't have Ice Storm, I don't know how he's going to answer all this. I think I have to go for the face, though.
You can't defeat us.
Training is over. It's time to act.
Wait! Your orders. Did you hear your orders? Your orders. Your orders.
Ice Storm might just legitimately kill me now because of Breakthrough. But I never actually come back from Ice Storm anyway with this board. An Ice Storm against me without Breakthrough still clears all of my stuff. It 8 for 1s me. And he still has at least this 5 attack coming in every turn, and the Histro, which I'm going to lose to eventually. So there's no way around losing to Ice Storm. Really.
Let me take out the rubbish.
And he's attacking my things, so I think we have dodged it essentially, effectively. Alright, it looks like we've managed to not completely lose our chance to kill him.
Chimera Gaia!
You can't defeat us.
You can't defeat me.
There's no way to guarantee it.
Steadfast.
Nothing has 6 attack. Well, with a different attack order. I'll have to look back on that one. With a different attack order, we could have buffed this up to 6, and we could have like put the Resolute Ally on the right. Might have been fine too. But like I said, Sorcerer doesn't have any prophecies that we really need to be scared of besides Lightning Bolt. I don't think many are playing Midnight Sweep. Interesting control ramp Sorcerer deck though. Yeah, that makeshift defense should have gotten that 1 damage, but a good game nonetheless.